to discuss how behavior and blood flow can be used to adjust the body temperature. Did you know that we can all adjust our body temperatures by both our behaviors and our blood flow? No? Don't. Well, let me explain to all of you. Homeotherms such as we maintain a constant internal body temperature, and if our body temperature changes we try to regulate it back to normal, which is called thermoregulation. Luckily for us we are able to increase our metabolic rate when the temperatures are low in our external environment. Imagine we are now in the cold weather of the winter. The external temperature is much lower than our internal temperatures. Now what would an organism like myself to do become warm? I would shiver. Shivering is the process in which skeletal muscles contract and energy is converted from ATP to heat. Therefore I would warm up slightly. The rat sitting on the elephant's truck has a different way of increasing internal body temperature. It performs non-shivering thermogenesis. That mouse-like babies contains brown adipose tissue within its body, in which oxidative phosphorylation is uncoupled from ATP production. Energy goes to heat production instead. Then there are insects who also must do something to be what we would call warm. For some insects to fly they must have a warm thorax for flight muscles. The heat comes from ATP in the flight muscles. No one wants to fly with cold wings. That would not be fun. Another thing used for us animals to stay warm is our insulation functions. Not like the Pink Panther insulation found at Home Depot, like fur on a cat or feathers on a bird. If animals did not have fur or feathers it would be very difficult for them to stay warm in climates such as this one. Specialized blood flow patterns can also conserve heat, such as the countercurrent heat exchange found in the legs of Arctic fox. But that is a total different chapter. Now let us travel to some place that is a little warmer, and more up to the elephant's speed. Well, I believe we may have taken a wrong turn. Let us try again. Now we are talking. However, it seems a little bare. Somehow landed on elephant's head. How strange is this? Don't. Anyways, back to biology. In hot environments, homeotherms must increase rate of heat loss. There are various ways that different organisms can go about this. The general name, however, is evaporative cooling, because water absorbs a lot of heat energy to change from liquid to gas state. Different animals go about this in different ways. For example, on a super hot day, if I was to go for a run I would be very hot. Unfortunately, I could not necessarily just hop in a pool to cool down. There is a different way to go about this. I would have to rid of this extra water by sweating, and because it is me running, sweating a bunch, that run may have helped me actually lose a little water weight. Say we have a dog though. He is not going to sweat. He is unable to sweat. Come here, Fido. As you can see here, there is no sweat running from Fido's skin, but there is a bunch of slobber dripping from his mouth. For dogs to lose this extra water they pant, at times very heavily. So I guess I would rather sweat than pant. Even though I probably look like I do that sometimes too. Then there are the bees. Oh, the dreaded bees. They are very smart when it comes to keeping cool. The honey bees spread water on interior surfaces of the hive and then fan the moistened surfaces with their wings to speed evaporation. Now that is much cooler than sweaty. Get it? Cooler. Maybe I should have been a comedian. Now I shall travel to a cooler environment, but you all may stay here so you do not have to struggle like myself. Goodbye for now. Look over there. A nice brown bear family filling their stomachs before hibernation. What is hibernation, you ask? Another way to regulate body temperature. Hibernation is when an animal is a homeotherm during warm months, then switches to temperature conformity during the cold months. By reducing energy needs, hibernation allows an animal to spend the winter in a protected place, such as an underground burrow or cave. Since the animals can live entirely on body fat or stored food collected the previous summer, the bears better eat a bunch. Now in closing, homeothermic heat-producing mechanisms used by mammals include shivering, the subtle contraction of the skeletal muscles to convert ATP to heat, and non-shivering thermogenesis in brown adipose tissue. which produces heat directly in the mitochondria by short-circuiting oxidative phosphorylation. Insects sometimes regulate their thoracic temperature using heat generated from ATP by the flight muscles in their thorax. In hot environments, homeothermic animals increase their rate of heat loss by sweating or panting, processes that increase heat transfer to the environment by evaporation of water. Finally, mammalian hibernation refers to a strategy of reducing energy, and thus food, needs by entering a state of thermoconformity during extended cold periods. And that is how organisms regulate body temperature by behavior and blood flow.